Alright folks, it's getting warm here in Florida, and of course I gotta have the doors closed again. Horse flies are back at it. You wouldn't think they would like this heat. Alright, what we're doing today is getting Eric's dashboard in. Got the dashboard in, got the steering wheel tucked up. Now I'm working on the pile of wires that need to be gone through. Find which ones we use and which ones we ain't gonna. On these old cars, the wires get changed and changed and changed and connected and butt connected, and you get about 5 cuts in one wire length, so you got to go through and cut them out. There'll be failures. We're not doing no restoration with color codes. I'm basically going to use the wires they've got tucked in and going through the firewall, and just taking, he had a switch for the fan on this car, had an electric fan at one time, and it's burned up, but I don't want to take it out of the dash because then it'll leave a hole, but none of the wires are being used behind it. So we're going to utilize some of them wires since they're already going through the firewall. I got to put his console in, ashtray. That's what the gauges look like on it. Those are the SS gauges. They're not cheap, about $300. And it's got the new bezel on it. Of course, I've got the chrome kind of dirty, touching it with my fingers. But it's getting there. There's this console and dashboard. Actually, I got to see how that dashboard attaches to it. It was just sitting on there. Alright folks, that's where we're at today. We're getting some parts in for TJ's. Got the rods in. These 396 and 402s, there's not very much of a piston selection. And then you have to, when you go with open chamber heads, you have to watch out what piston you use, because you'll have clearance issues. And trying to get the right dome height to get compression up. Most of the pistons will put you at like 7.3 to 1, which is, you know, it's gonna soot. It'll be puffing smoke. Won't burn the fuel without enough compression. Alright, I want to try to get it to 9.5 to 1. But then there's clearance issues when you get up there. So if anybody's ever done one of these and knows what I'm talking about, maybe you can give me some input. It's 40 over 396. It's the bore is 4 and 135 thousandths, 4 inches 135 thousandths. So it'll put it right around a 404 cubic inch. It's 3.766 stroke, short stroke motor. So that's what we're doing. Alright folks, y'all have a good day. It's awfully hot in here. I think I'm going to call it a day early today. Early, well, it's probably 2 o'clock. We're supposed to have 97 degrees here today, but it's kind of overcast from a little tropical storm we got going on. I got my boring machine in. It's a Van Norman 905. It's an old machine, but it works good. It'll cut the bores. They had this thing, they made a real nice little table for it. It was a, they use it for doing Harley jugs. Can't even say Harley jugs is what they was using it for. And he had rigged or the guy who was using it, rigged up a thing to hold the jugs. And they decked this table, top and bottom. I mean, it was thick, heavy duty. I had to make a handle for it. They snapped off the handle during shipping, of course, and then charged me an extra $150 for residential delivery, which I am a legitimate business with a business license. But, you know, if you have a residence where you sleep on your premises, they consider it a residential. So they got me 150 bucks extra on top of the $675 to ship it from Arizona. But I made a handle out of a piston pin. It's a that little 4BDT diesel motor I've got in my Isuzu. I just cut some slots in it and I bored the center out. I don't know if y'all can see that, probably can't see it, but it works good with the ratchet. I actually like it. Well, I've got to cut my little tangs offset just a little bit more, because when I put my pin in the hole here, it offsets my shaft just a little bit where I can't get my tangs, I guess you'd call them. Yeah, I can't see, it's a little dark. Of course, I can't see in the viewfinder because I don't have no glasses on. Probably shaking like a leaf. It's so hot today. But yeah, that worked good. But when I put my pin in, I've got it backwards, my drift pin here, I dropped it, it offsets my little spline right here. It moves my shaft just a little bit. I cut my little slots just a hair off. I can take a file to them, straighten that up. But I'm going to do some videos of cutting some blocks. I'm going to do a practice. I've got a that 350 that came out of hers that was bored 80 over. That's going to be my practice block. I'm going to test, make sure my deck surface of my machine is straight and the bar is not bent. All them years, I'm sure it's been dropped a couple times, and during shipping they dropped it and broke my handle. I probably could have welded it back together, but it was cast, so I just made a different handle for it. I kind of like that one. It's heavy duty. But yeah, I've never bored any engines, so they suggest with your book, which is the original book. It's an old one. Yeah, can't see it. There we go. They suggest that you test and play with a useless block so that you can get the feel of your unit. I mean, get the, because they'll be out 1,000 here, or half 1,000, or 3,000. You never know. But once you bore it and you measure the inside of your block, you can tell how far your mic's out on your machine and how far your shaft's out and everything like that. Or you never know, sometimes you're lucky and it just bored little Harley jugs all its life, and you might be lucky and it will work perfect. Like it says, Perfecto bore. Perfecto bore 905. Alright folks, I'll say goodbye again. Thanks for watching the Hot Box. We're already up to 95.